kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey there, collectors, it is Steven here, and welcome to a Banjo-Kazooie review, where today, guess what? We're going to be taking a look at Youtooz. That's right, today we're going to be taking a look at the Youtooz Banjo-Kazooie collection, at least the first few releases, and we're going to be taking a look at Banjo and Kazooie. We're going to be taking a look at Tooty and Bottles. Now, Bottles is a Rare Store exclusive, so if you're looking to pick that one up, you're going to have to head on over to the Rare Store, and at the time of recording, you can add it to your basket, according to them. Now, with these releases, they're going to range in price depending on where you're looking to pick them up, and they do range at about the $25 or so mark. And that is going to be a little bit for vinyl figures. And quite frankly, I didn't know anything about Youtooz before getting these. So are these going to be quality releases, or are these just fad figures that you should maybe just let go because they're not really worth anything? Well, that's what reviews are for. Let's take a look to see whether or not they're worth adding into your collection. First, let's go ahead and take a look at the boxes. And as you know, if you're a regular viewer to the channel, I don't really take a look at the boxes because if you're looking to actually get the figure, the box isn't the figure. But if you're a mint and sealed box collector, you can look at pictures online and make up your decision there. Now, the reason that I'm taking a look at the boxes here is, one, I think these are actually really, really cool, and I think that they hold hints to something. As many of you know, in today's day and age of action figures and collectibles, a lot of stuff is going to be starting as a 3D render. These included. That's what we saw, and that's kind of what we were sold on. So with that being said, we are taking a look at the packaging for Bottles for Tooty and Banjo and Kazooie. And if you take a close look, I think that we're seeing some hints for some upcoming releases, including but not limited to other poses for these three. And maybe, just quite maybe, a particular witch. Now, I don't have any insider information, but I think you can add two and two together here. Hint, 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 the answer is not gonna be 5. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at Tooty first. Now, as an overarching idea here, I do think that, unfortunately, another passover for these for quality control was definitely needed. I do feel like a couple of spots here and there, maybe the paint was applied rather too thick, and maybe there could have been a couple of touch-ups here for flash marks, and maybe some stuff could have just been pulled out in terms of brush pieces left, little bristles that could have been just pulled out if another person would have checked them at the factory. But that being said, I do think that these are rather neat shelf pieces that you can just have on your desk at work, or you can sneak them into your video game display. Now, for Tooty in particular, I do think that she does look rather nice, albeit maybe a little bit more pale than what was seen in the prototype pictures. Tooty is going to be playing an instrument, I wonder what that one is called, and she is going to have a rather clean application for that star that's going to be on her shirt. She does have her pigtails and a nice smiling expression and the typical, known for, happy eyes that Youtooz are always going to have. As you can see in the particular picture that I have, there's a little bit of too much white paint on the left eye there, and that's about what I'm talking about for the quality control issues. Now, moving on over to Bottles, which is going to be everyone's favorite, but not particularly for this release, we can see that Bottles is taking off his glasses, and is looking out into the distance trying to find something, I suppose. Now, for Bottles here, this was something that a lot of folks were a little bit upset about because, you know, Bottles, he's got his glasses and he's not wearing them. Why? Yeah, so for Bottles, I think he actually has the best quality control out of all of them, even still with a couple of minor streaks here and there, which honestly would be nitpicking at that point. I do think Bottles is relatively clean, and that is going to be a good thing to hear, especially because he is going to be an exclusive, and more than likely, if you took a close look at the boxes, it does look like we might be getting another one in the future. So, for those of you who like chase variants and exclusives, then congratulations, this may be one to keep an eye on. Now, the Bear and the Bird. Banjo and Kazooie, and I do feel that these two definitely did need another passover. You're going to see as we continue on throughout the figure here, which is one figure for both, which is cool, you'll notice a couple of random streaks of paint here and there. Kazooie particularly is going to have red in the yellow spots and yellow in the red spots, but we are going to see a couple of things that do shine out rather well, such as some nice paint shading and some gradient on the feathers, which, hey, good job there. And the Rare logo, or would it be Rareware at the time? Does look good on Banjo's backpack. We are going to see that the strings for the banjo do look actually pretty neatly applied, so very good there. He does have his claws, which do look very good, and overall, I do think that it is rather rock solid. But again, just another pass over just to make sure that everything was nice and tight would have been very, very good and most appreciated. Now, you may be wondering about articulation, and do we have any? Well, unfortunately, not really. That's not going to be the case here. But we can go on over to a size comparison so you can see exactly how big these are going to be, and not really. These aren't going to be very big at all. You can see them all stacked up next to each other and some other iconic video game characters and other miscellaneous stuff you just might have. So yeah, these make fantastic stuff to throw on your desk or your shelf. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Like I said, quality is going to be the name of the game here, and I do think that they could have tightened it up just a little bit, and it would have really, really sold me on maybe dipping into some other things. But for right now, for what I was particularly looking for, just having neat Banjo-Kazooie collectibles, this definitely scratched that itch. Would I definitely think about diving headfirst into some other releases, so this way I could really say, yeah, I'm a Youtooz collector? Not particularly, but I have a soft spot for Banjo and Kazooie, and to have affordable collectibles, yeah, definitely this would be something nice to have. If you're a fan, hey, these are great releases to have, and I do look forward to see what else they may release. So yeah, kudos to them. These were fun to get, and I would say if you're considering it, get them sooner rather than later. You know how exclusives can be.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.